Welcome back to AZ Automotive Reviews, the place where we don't just talk about machines, we experience them, where every engine roar has a story and every wheel turn feels like a chapter in automotive history. Today, we're taking on something so extreme, so unapologetically powerful, that it blurs the line between military-grade engineering and full-blown supercharged madness. This is the 6x6 Humvee Hellcat. What happens when you take one of the most iconic military vehicles of all time, strip away its purely utilitarian heart, and then transplant into it one of the most notorious engines ever built for the streets? You get a machine that is as much a statement as it is a vehicle. The Humvee has always been about unstoppable durability and go-anywhere capability. It was never about subtlety, never about comfort, and definitely never about raw speed. But this one rewrites that rulebook in all caps. Under the massive, aggressive hood lies a heart borrowed straight from Dodge's performance division, the 6.2-liter supercharged HEMI V8 Hellcat engine, 707 horsepower. Over 880 Nm of torque, numbers that would be insane in a lightweight sports car, and yet, here they are, stuffed into a six-wheel drive armored brute weighing well over 4 tons. The result is something you don't just drive, you command. The moment you start it, the world knows. The idle is deep, guttural, and has a menace to it that's impossible to fake. You feel the engine's heartbeat through the chassis, and even standing still, it radiates the same kind of tension as a caged predator. The supercharger's faint whine builds in the background, hinting at what's to come. Press the throttle even slightly and the beast responds instantly, surging forward with an eagerness you don't expect from something this massive. The 6x6 layout is more than just visual drama, though, let's be honest, visually it's like an armored juggernaut from a post-apocalyptic movie. Those 3 axles give it a stability and presence on the road that's unmatched. In the rear view mirror, it fills your vision like a moving wall. The wheel arches are oversized and sculpted to frame those huge off-road tires, each ready to claw through mud, sand, snow, or whatever dares get in the way. This is not a car that asks for permission, it simply goes where it wants. Climbing inside, you're greeted by a cabin that's been transformed from bare-bones military utility into something worthy of its supercharged soul. There's premium leather, Alcantara, custom stitching, and enough tech to make it feel modern without losing its rugged essence. The seating position is commanding, you sit high above most other vehicles, and that view of the road ahead is almost panoramic. Every button, switch, and lever feels substantial, engineered to survive in the harshest conditions, yet finished with precision. Driving the Humvee Hellcat is an experience that constantly messes with your brain. Your eyes see a massive armored truck, but your right foot controls a powertrain that belongs to a muscle car. The first time you floor it, there's a split second where your mind refuses to believe what's happening. Then the supercharger screams, the V8 bellows, and this gigantic 6x6 lunges forward with an acceleration that's nothing short of absurd. The sensation is like being in a battleship that suddenly learned how to sprint. And yet, it's not just about speed. The 6-wheel drive system, reinforced suspension, and upgraded differentials mean that this thing can conquer terrain that would leave lesser off-roaders stranded. Rocks, rivers, dunes, you name it, the Humvee Hellcat shrugs it off. Engage the low-range gearing, lock the differentials, and it transforms from a high-speed sledgehammer into an unstoppable climbing machine. You could take it deep into the wilderness, across mountain trails, or through urban chaos, and it would feel equally at home. The build quality here is remarkable. Every panel feels like it could withstand a small war, because, let's be honest, in its original form, it was designed to do exactly that. But here, the armor is paired with artistry. The exterior wears a matte tactical finish that eats light instead of reflecting it, making the already intimidating silhouette even more menacing. Custom LED lighting front and rear not only improves visibility but adds that cinematic presence, the kind of look that turns heads before people even hear it. And they will hear it. That exhaust note is a thunderclap in motion. Under light throttle, it's a low, deep rumble, a promise of what lies beneath. Push it harder, and the exhaust barks, roars, and pops with every gear change, the supercharger wailing over the top. In a tunnel, it's less an echo and more an explosion of sound that reverberates through your chest. It's addictive. Of course, building something like this isn't just a matter of bolting a Hellcat engine into a Humvee and calling it a day. The chassis has been reinforced to handle the immense torque. The braking system has been upgraded with massive ventilated discs and high-performance calipers to ensure that this heavyweight can be brought to a stop just as impressively as it can launch forward. The suspension has been tuned to strike a delicate balance, stiff enough to keep the handling predictable at higher speeds, but still capable of absorbing brutal off-road impacts. On the open highway, the Humvee Hellcat is surprisingly composed. Sure, you feel its size, and you'll never forget that you're piloting something far larger than a regular SUV, but there's a strange sense of confidence that comes with it. Lane changes are deliberate, steering is weighty but precise, and the stability from that extra axle is reassuring. And yet, every time you so much as think about overtaking, all it takes is a squeeze of the throttle and you're past in seconds. It's intoxicating to have that much power under your control in a vehicle that looks like it should be topping out at 60 miles per hour. Off the road, it's another story entirely. Switch from asphalt to dirt and you can feel the Humvee Hellcat come alive in a different way. The suspension travel soaks up ruts and bumps with ease. The tires dig in, throwing dirt and gravel behind you in a rooster tail that's as dramatic as it is satisfying. Water crossings, no problem, the air intake is positioned high enough to wade through without hesitation. Steep inclines, just feed it a little throttle, and those 6-driven wheels pull you up like it's nothing. It's easy to forget in all this talk of power and capability that vehicles like this are also about emotion. The 6x6 Humvee Hellcat isn't just transportation, it's an event. Every time you take it out, people stop, stare, and pull out their phones. Car enthusiasts approach you with questions. Kids point and smile. Even those who don't know the first thing about engines can feel the presence of something special when it rumbles by. It's a machine that doesn't just exist in the physical sense, it has an aura. There's also a certain satisfaction in knowing that this is a one-of-a-kind fusion. The Humvee is pure, raw functionality. The Hellcat engine is pure, raw performance. Put them together, and you get a combination that shouldn't make sense, but somehow does perfectly. It's like mixing a sledgehammer with a scalpel, brute force and precision in one package. This isn't a vehicle you buy to blend in. This isn't for the timid, the casual driver, or the fuel economy obsessive. This is for the person who wants to own the road and the trail with equal authority. It's for someone who understands that, sometimes, excess isn't a flaw. It's the point. The 6x6 Humvee Hellcat is a reminder that in the world of automotive engineering, the most exciting creations often happen when rules are broken. It's a celebration of capability, power, and presence. It doesn't ask what's possible, it simply does it. And every time you hear that supercharger whine and feel the torque surge through all 6 wheels, you're reminded that this isn't just another build. It's a mechanical statement, a declaration of dominance. So when you see it, whether on the open highway, in the depths of the desert, or parked outside with that aggressive stance, you don't just see a vehicle. You see an icon reborn. The Humvee was always legendary, but with a Hellcat heart and 6-driven wheels, it's something more. Something unforgettable. And here at AZ Automotive Reviews, we live for moments like that. Machines that inspire awe, that push boundaries, that make you feel something the second you see them. The 6x6 Humvee Hellcat is exactly that, a masterpiece of muscle and engineering that turns every drive into a story worth telling. Because in the end, it's not just about where you can go. It's about how you get there. And with this beast, you get there in a way the world will never forget.